Well, one of the fastest growing music technology companies has added a rather famous star to its lineup of financial backers. Sir Elton John has joined Sir Paul McCartney and ABBA's Bjorn Ulvaeus as an investor in Audoo, which looks to use technology to help artists receive fairer royalty payments. Estimates suggest artists lose out on as much as $3 billion globally in unaccounted royalties each year. The latest funding round takes the total raised by Audoo since its launch to $22 million. Well, earlier I spoke to the company's founder, the former musician Ryan Edwards. I began by asking him how the system works.
So it's a new technology that we've designed and developed everything here in the UK. So you'll know technologies like Shazam, where you use your mobile phone to do it. We've actually taken it to the next level, where we don't store a recording, we don't transmit any audio, we actually do everything in real time on device, and it gives us an even higher accuracy level as well.
And all your manufacturing's done here in the UK?
It is, yeah, everything is done. We've designed, developed and continue to manufacture everything here as well.
That must have been a huge challenge, though, when you were starting out.
Yeah, I guess as a business that's a few years old, COVID has certainly played a role in that, being able to not physically get to the manufacturing plant and do it, but we have components coming from all over the world, and then everything gets put together, built and shipped back out around the world for where we're live at the moment, yeah.
Now, the interesting thing is you don't have a tech background. You were a drummer in a rock band.
I was a long time ago. I know your viewers may think like to think I look 21 now, but yeah, nearly 20 years ago I was a drummer in a band. We were called The Lions, and we had a top 10 UK single. And I've spent most of my career working in data in my professional career, and just saw this intersection where there was a challenge in music where they weren't able to obtain all the data from the real world, you know, from gyms and pubs and clubs and restaurants and even retail, to pull all of this in and actually get the right money to the right artists at the right time.
But was there a eureka moment for you? When did you realise this?
Yeah, so my eureka moment, I was in a department store on Oxford Street a few years ago, and my wife and I heard my song playing, and of course she turned to me and said, "Well, how much are you being paid for this?" And I said, "Oh, it's a few pennies. Forget that very expensive handbag you're looking at." and off I went, you know, researching and trying to figure out what the correlation was, and what I found is a $55 billion royalty industry, and forums and pages and artists everywhere saying, how does it work? It doesn't appear to be working, or it's not attributed right, because it's all built on legacy and old systems. So that's where technology like ours are bringing it forward and making it more accurate every day.
I mean, you've got buy-in from PRS for music. What about rights management organisations around the world? Yeah,
so we're live in 8 markets around the world, so as far afield as Australia, and of course here back with PRS and the wonderful work that they do as well. And recent investment means we can grow and we can take this this solution to quite literally every country.
So the money that you've raised in this funding round, that is going to be largely deployed on international expansion?
International growth, yeah. So, yeah, most of the team is here in the UK. We have a few dotted around the world at the moment, but more and more markets are calling for what we're doing, so we need to be ready to put those people and actually make it work for the artists as well.
I mean, you've got some glittering names backing you, you know, Bjorn Ulvaeus and Sir Paul McCartney, and now Elton John.
Yeah, so, somebody joked this morning, they said you're trying to put together a supergroup. So maybe as a drummer we could start something with with the three of them. You know, that'd be beyond a dream of just the business. But yeah, and I think they have all seen the problem firsthand, and that's why they've been so supportive. For all the people that they've grown with, but of course they all support future generations as well. So it's great to have their backing.
But how did they get wind of what you were doing?
So we've grown, we've delivered bit by bit. We've grown, you know, partnerships with people like PRS and APA in Australia and other ones around the world. You know, the whispers and the music industry is relatively small as well. So yeah, when you receive those emails in saying, hey, we're on this person's team and we're interested to first of all learn about what you're doing, and then, you know, as you build that relationship and they say, well, actually, how can we help? And you say, well, we're trying to grow, and they offer to invest. Yeah, it's quite a special moment.
How big do you think the market is in terms of the royalties that you can garner for people who aren't collecting them just now? So
right now globally it's about $55 billion, and it's growing expansively. And what's fascinating is the challenge that we're seeing is quite literally the same in every market in the world. So yeah, we think we'll grow that part. You know, you see exporting in these key music markets like the UK is, you know, one of the biggest global players in music as well. So hopefully it will drive and it will grow that ecosystem everywhere.